Shalom, Barakathe Hawa, Barakathe Haushai, Barakathe Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rukakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that are out there pushing and spreading the truth, which is the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to the brokenness of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, I saw this video of this Jake, this and a bunch of wicked ass women right here, of course. And just a bunch of scriptures really popped into my mind. And when you listen to this man right here, DeGrass Tyson, he's an Israelite, but his spirit is indifferent, all right, from that of a heathen. And when you listen to how he speaks and how proud he is, it is clear that the Most High don't want to save this man, because he's a victim of the prophecies, which of the blindness that the Most High has put on the 2/3. He's a victim of. He's caught in the middle of it. All right. So before we listen to him shoot off his mouth, this is Daniel chapter 12, starting from verse 9. It says, "And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the end of time. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." All right? None of the wicked shall understand. And if we know the words, these words, they spoke of, the end times, okay? The end of days. And so the destruction that is coming about in these last times, it is crucial for every man who is to receive salvation to hear these words and understand these words. And so when the Most High says the wicked, none of the wicked shall understand, it is clear that the Most High don't want to save some people, all right? Which is also a cut for these wacky-tacky Christians out here. All right, so again, you will see very much that this man is a product of that prophecy, okay? This wicked man is predestined for these nukes, all right? This is Psalm chapter 14, starting from verse 1. It says, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." Jump down. It says, have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Let me just... Right, they are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. I want to loop back to this. Continue. Yeah, forgive me, I'm trying to get this together. Verse 2, it says, "The Lord looketh down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and see God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord? They in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous." Translated, it means they were in great fear, or terror will grip them, for God is with those who obey him. Okay? And this is going to be his reality real soon. The terror has not gripped him yet, but in time it will manifest. So let's just hear this wicked man, try to play off the prophecy, try to, just do what wickedness. Man, it's so amazing how Jake is capable of perfecting wickedness, all right? Hey, the Yahweh said it right, man. Ye are of your father the devil, and whatsoever he does, ye do. All right, because this man spends too much time with Edomites. He feels as though he has the power to go anywhere that he wants and shoot off his mouth, and then people just got to listen to his opinion. All right? So...
in the game, then we should all pause and pay attention. And check what his latest will looks like.
Well, I've been obsessed with this story, Neil. I mean, we've all seen those videos out there of UFOs spotted by Navy pilots on both coasts over the last several years. And according to reports, a highly anticipated Pentagon investigation found no evidence these UFOs were alien spacecraft, but they're not ruling out the possibility either. So you have a whole chapter of your book called Are We Alone in the Universe? So I'm going to ask you, do you think these UFOs are extraterrestrial in nature?
Yeah, so first of all, that book is a collection of questions we have all had about our place in the universe. And top 2 or 3 questions I'm ever asked are we alone in the universe? So this is right at the center of people's core of curiosity. That's first. Second, the universe brims with mysteries, and we so want many of those mysteries to be some favored answer that we might carry. You see a light in the sky you don't understand. Gee, I want that to be aliens visiting us. And so in science, however, you rank possibilities by likelihood. Okay, these Navy videos, you have to ask, if they are aliens visiting, why are they only visiting Navy pilots? How about the rest of Earth's surface? There are 3 billion smartphones on this planet. Each one is a high-resolution color camera and video recorder. So basically, aliens invasions have been crowdsourced to the population of the planet. If any alien is landing anywhere, it's going to look what else we have already streamed that used to be rare, but we knew was happening. All right. Like police violence and all of this. If aliens landed, we would have it. It would be viral overnight. But instead, there are cat videos that go viral.
Well, Neil, new NASA chief Bill Nelson had.
It's funny, man. His pride stems from these, being around foolish people. Whenever his reasoning is so fucking stupid, because there have been UFO sightings all over the globe, every continent, all right, every land, all right, and a lot of people have caught it on smartphones, okay, right then and there, and these, he feels as if he's right. Like I said, he feels as if his opinion is that of the Most High. Whatever he thinks is law, is righteous. It's reality. And that reality should bend to what he thinks is right. Okay, and you these women, man, I just like, how do I put it? He's with people that are in that mindset of a naive woman. Okay, that's why he hasn't. That's why it's in when you watch videos of him. This is exactly how he is. He's I think a comment best explained it. Let me just get it right here. That Neil's speech was like an American movie. Very promising trailer, anticlimactic result. That is perfect. This was my favorite, comment, and one of a video that I'm gonna show up later on, because, his colleagues even realize how foolish this man really is, and, so back to topic, he's saying that, I don't know if he already said it, but, later on he's gonna say that it might be a glitch, like the the millions of dollars that was invested into these Navy craft, these aircraft, okay, with top-notch technology, it's a glitch. And the smartest people on Earth that are investigating this could not tell that it was a glitch or a bug. All right, that's how proud this man is. That's how that's how foolish his words are. Okay. So we're just gonna go on. So first of all, he talks about the cell phone things. People have caught it on cell phones. Why can't people get a clear video? Well, check this out. If these people can evade military military tracking devices and all that, military radars of the most powerful countries in the universe, of the most powerful countries on Earth, what makes you think that an average working class person with an iPhone, who doesn't even watch the skies for a living, should get a clear, video of it. That's how simple his mind is. Like nobody ever thought of that.
There are 3 billion smartphones on this planet. Each one is a high-resolution color camera and video recorder. So basically, aliens invasions have been crowdsourced to the population of the planet. If any alien is landing anywhere, it's going to look what else we have already streamed that used to be rare, but we knew was happening. All right, like police violence and all of this. If aliens landed, we would have it. It would be viral overnight, but instead there are cat videos that
and
go
these
viral.
women just absorbing like sponges, man, just absorbing this wicked thought, and you just know that they're gonna regurgitate that to the husband and to the kids. And this wicked, stupid. It's not even a profound statement. It can be debunked just like that, But they're just gonna absorb it and just spew it out. And weaker vessels, man, weaker vessels. They're just going to be a transport for wickedness all over the globe.
Well, Neil, new NASA Chief Bill Nelson has said that they're launching their own investigation into the UFOs as well, and acknowledges they don't know what they are either. One theory is that the UFOs could be a foreign military aircraft. According to the New York Times, China and Russia have both invested heavily in supersonic technology. From what you've seen, how likely is that, and does that theory trouble you?
Yeah, so first of all, of the $600-700 billion budget of the Pentagon, I would want some fraction of that to check out the sky and make sure that there aren't threats. So I'm happy to have learned that there are government programs investigating these. No problem there. By the way, they could be foreign craft that have achieved some level of aerodynamic sophistication that we have not. I'm glad they're looking into that. Totally. I have no problem.
Just like the comment says, this man just rambled on and doesn't have anything particular in his mind. A double-minded man. Let your yes be yes and your no's be no's. All right? Do you think it is? Well, it could be. It could. What was the point of asking you the question then? If all you were gonna do is just ramble on and then give an undefinitive answer. You see? Just examine his words alone. But and you see, like the video, when you go into the all these 500 likes and 20 comments, when you look into it, you're gonna have people in different experts in you're gonna have experts in a vast arena, in knowledge, whether doctors and all of that, reply to this man and say, yes, man, this man just says certain things that are like really that means nothing. It's not so profound for a scientist, like how he talks about Mount Everest it's not the largest, it's not actually not the biggest mountain. Well, nobody said it was the biggest mountain. They just said it was the tallest peak of the earth. We all know that there are bigger mountains under the ocean, And he's gonna make it seem as though it's his idea and that he's smart and all that. But like, hey, Jake, man,
in the game, then we should all pause and pay attention.
I'm waiting for him to make a certain comment.
There's behavior of these docs that I don't know what that is, and my first thought is it's some kind of bug or malfunction of the electronics. Okay, that would be my first thought. Not we're being observed by intelligent aliens from another planet. But that's me.
Now, there seems to be growing bipartisan support for more government funding for research into UFOs. But as Republican Senator Marco Rubio has pointed out, a stigma still exists around the issue, which can prompt giggles and eye rolls on Capitol Hill. How do we convince lawmakers to think less in terms of ET and more like contact or interstellar?
Yeah, I think the way to destigmatize it is there are these things showing up in military radar, and we don't know what they are. Anyone who is curious, say, let's go try to figure it out. If you lead with the idea that we're being visited by aliens, that's some people have that as their first explanation for what they don't understand. But for a skeptical scientist, that would probably be the last explanation. As Carl Sagan famously said, extraordinary claims require
which is also scriptural, man. Like what he said, it is going to be the last explanation, the last thing that comes into people's mind, and which says that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, man, because nobody's going to expect this. And the strangeness of his salvation, nobody's going to, expect the salvation, okay, of the elect to be that of a UFO, all right? But I think I cut the video short because when I watched the whole video, he made a point that, he's been watching the skies all his life, and he's never seen anything like that. So that means it might not exist. And then surprise, surprise, there is an article that came out. There was a Harvard, a Harvard professor, okay, and his name, oh man, all right, his name will come up. I think Leo or something like that. But yeah, no, whatever his name is, yeah, Dr. Evie Leob or something like that. And yes, when he does the same thing as this man right here, that you saw in the video, and he did see signs of a UFO. He did see strange objects, artificially crafted, objects in house that came in from outside the solar system, which I'll put the link in the description real soon. I'm not trying to. This video is already longer than I expected it to be, so just go ahead and forgive me. I think I'm gonna just have to. I'll do like a separate video on this about this article, cause yeah, it's I can't just pick and choose because it might be confusing. But in November 2017, an object passed by our planet that was unlike anything astronomers had ever seen, spotted by a telescope in Hawaii. This strange thing was dubbed Oumuamua, which is a nickname for something that is unknown, UFO. Okay, let me just look it up and just assure you. Oumuamua is the first, if I'm pronouncing it right, is the first interstellar object detected passing through the solar system. Formally designated in January. Yeah, this is by another discovery by a different person, but it turns out that it was a star. It was the leftover from another space shuttle or something like that. But which is also really strange, and it could be false. It says, before you discount Leah, you should know that he isn't the average UFO spotting cook you might see on the return of Unsolved Mysteries. He is an astrophysicist who has been teaching astronomy at Harvard since 1993 and chaired its astronomy department for 90 years. In his new book, Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond the Earth, which comes out on January 6th, Leah makes a persuasive scientific argument about Oumuamua's otherworldly origins and delves into why his peers have been so hostile to the idea of life outside Earth. It says overall, about a quarter of our galaxy's 200 billion stars are orbited by planets that are habitable the way Earth is. Which I'm not gonna get into this whole bullshit that they spit out, because the scriptures don't speak about the earth behaving that way. All right, which with surfaces conditioned that allowed liquid water and chemistry of life as we know it, he writes. Damn. Yeah, I will make a video that goes straight into this, but the point is that there are astrophysicists, okay, who watches the sky for a living, who have seen chariots. All right, so back onto how this man is so like foolish, let's listen to how they break down, because he talks about how, you know, the equipment are a bug. It's a bug. Okay, it's a malfunction in the system, and it's sort of like a bug. The most stupid, you know, statement, opinion that can ever be made. Okay, you cannot what, you know. So let's just listen to how they break it down and how, you know, it appears, okay, on the equipment of the pilots.
The Pentagon's report on UFOs, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, was released to Congress, and a big takeaway is many of the anomalous objects that appear in the report remain unidentified. To understand why experts and pilots remain baffled, we spoke to veteran pilot Andrea Themley.
I am currently a pilot for a major airline flying 737s, and I was previously a colonel in the Air Force. I flew the F-15C Eagle, the T-38 Talon, and the T-6 Texan too, and I was an instructor in all three of those airframes. Ultimately, pilots seem to be the ones who are seeing a lot of these objects because they are out over the ocean flying.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
I can't imagine being in their shoes and seeing what they saw. I think it would be terrifying to not know what this object was.
There's like anything. It's rotating.
Colonel Themley is going to walk us through videos of unidentified aerial phenomena and explain the traits that make them unidentifiable from a physics and aerodynamics perspective. Let's unpack the first trait, anti-gravity.
The acorn shape, pyramid shape, and the spherical shape, they seem to overcome gravity without any visible propulsion or any airfoils that provide lift, or what we would traditionally call a wing. Since the dawn of aviation on Earth, which has been about 120 years now, normally lift is produced when an aircraft increases speed. The air goes over the top of the wing and the bottom of the wing, and meets at the end of the wing at the same time. But because the top of the wing is a different size than the bottom, it's going to create a negative pressure because it's traveling faster, and it essentially sucks the wing and the rest of the aircraft into that negative pressure area, and that's what we refer to as lift.
Okay, so the unidentified aerial phenomena don't appear to have recognizable wings for lift. But what about their propulsion?
I'm watching the gimbal video. This was filmed in 2015, and as you can see at the top, it's using the infrared sensor, and that is depicted by the IR at the top of the screen there. The pod has multiple sensors. It has both an electro-optical sensor and an infrared sensor to detect targets. What's noticeable is that there's no visible infrared exhaust plume coming from this object, and that indicates no source of propulsion as we know it. Where you see WHT, which stands for white hot. So the cooler heat signatures will appear as black, and the hottest targets are going to be displayed as white. A normal fighter-sized target will have a heat signature that can be detected approximately 10 nautical miles away with an infrared sensor. The skin friction of an aircraft enough flying through the air is going to be able to give a heat signature so that a targeting pod will be able to detect it.
These objects don't seem to generate exhaust, so it's difficult to understand how they're creating propulsion. This leads to the second unidentifiable trait. They fly at hyperspeed.
Showing at 180 knots right now, that is the actual closing velocity of that target to the host-owned ship, the F-18, that's carrying the pod. From the bottom there, on the left-hand side, you see the F-18's airspeed, 258 nautical miles per hour, or Mach 0.62. And you can roughly tell, if you do some rough math, that that object is going approximately 500 miles per hour. Without any visible propulsion or any airfoils that provide lift.
That's fast, but not supersonic fast. So let's consider the video taken during the 2004 USS Nimitz encounter.
You can see at the very end, the video here, this aircraft just scoots off the screen very quickly. Based on that, and based on the testimony of the USS Princeton operators that found that object 60 miles away several seconds later, it's clear that this object was traveling at very high rates of speed with a lot of acceleration.
According to the calculations of the USS Princeton radar team, the so-called Tic Tac UAP would have reached a maximum speed of about 46,000 miles per hour during a descent, or 60 times the speed of sound. As a point of comparison, the fastest manned aircraft that the U.S. Air Force has ever operationally produced is the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, which flew at Mach 3.2, or 3 times the speed of sound. The experimental North American X-15, which flew about Mach 6.7, or 4,500 miles per hour in 1967. But what about present-day tech?
It's no secret that the United States, as well as multiple other countries, are working on hypersonic technology. And hypersonic means anywhere from 5 times the speed of sound to 10 times the speed of sound. It's pretty quick. So the Boeing X-51 Waverider is one of those such vehicles. This is an unmanned vehicle that's capable of flying up to 70,000 feet and up to Mach 5. Other countries that have this technology or are working on it include India, Russia, and China, for example.
Another attribute of UAPs that make them tricky to observe is stealth.
Most of these images are infrared sensors that are just capturing the heat signature of the aircraft. This video is using night vision video on the deck of a U.S. Navy destroyer, and the shape itself is unusual. It's similar to our B-2, which has stealth technology, but it's not quite the same shape. It's possible that the pyramid shape is flat, irregular surfaces that would deflect radar energy and not let it return to the host. It's possible that that is a stealth technology, and that's why operators have had trouble capturing this on their radars.
Stealth crafts work to scramble radar in 2 ways. First, with irregular flat surfaces like the B-2 bomber that will not easily return the radar beam. And second, by using radar-absorbing materials on the craft's exterior.
It's unclear why it is flashing, but some of it might have to do with the quality of the camera or the night vision video that they have. It's really tough to tell what the actual colors are or if it is metallic or silver.
And yet, the US doesn't have a monopoly on planes that confuse radar.
The Chinese have the J-20, the Russians fly the Su-57, and then Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, they all have fairly advanced stealth technology programs.
Another anomalous trait UAPs seem to have is that they are transmedium.
What was splash? Splash.
Transmedium just means that these objects are moving easily between different environments, such as space, our atmosphere, and even underwater. This video was taken from off the coast of San Diego, and the most notable feature is the ability to fly both in air and underwater. As soon as the object nears the water, they are waiting to mark the coordinates, the bearing and range of where this object went down, and they're, I don't know, I'm not sure. This video, I was like, I don't know that I can really, because there's nothing we have that's even remotely close to this, so I don't even really know.
So you see this argument that they're making, you know, and it's on point, okay? They're making a good argument. And so to show you that this man is so proud that even his fellow colleagues get pissed off at him, okay, is this video right here.
About the question which you really would wish to know the answer to, and I mean, for me, it would be what's consciousness, because that's totally baffling.
Richie, you know what I think?
I agree.
Not that you asked, but what I think on this is consciousness has kind of baffled us for a while, okay? And evidence that we haven't a clue about what consciousness is drawn from the fact of how many books are published on the topic, right? We're not really continuing to publish books, not really, on like Newtonian physics. It's done, all right? So the fact that people keep publishing books on consciousness is the evidence we don't know anything about it, because if we knew all about it, you wouldn't have to keep publishing. So what I wonder, Richard, is whether there really is no such thing as consciousness at all, and that there's some other understanding of the functioning of the human brain that renders that question obsolete.
To that, I gotta say, like, oh wow.
Perfect. Okay.
And am I like thinking, or am I just like thinking that I'm thinking? Wow.
Will you stop with that?
Yeah, you know, this man is bugged out. Hey, you know, he feels as if he's a master in everything, okay? But he's a victim of this. 2 Ezra chapter 9, starting from verse 17, it says, starting from verse 18. Starting from verse, let me see. verse 19, it says, "For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves." Okay? "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a people." The point is in verse 22, it says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect." All right. So this man is one of these multitudes that are gonna perish because they were born in vain. All right. So with that, this man is too proud, man. The Most High just has him right where he wants him to be. Okay. And there was nothing but his name was on the hit list. Okay. And very soon we're gonna see that play out for these wicked ass niggas. So with that, to the brothers that are listening and watching in Truth and Sincerity, I want to say Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yashar Barakatha. To the few aquas that are listening to, I want to say Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yashar Barakatha. May the blessing of life be upon all the houses. So until the next one, Shalom.